My name is Haley Rhodes, and this is the story of how one decision, two possibilities, and a leap of faith brought me to the life I never expected. I grew up in Fort Collins, Colorado, and by the time I turned 27, I was at one of those points in life where everything felt like it should make sense, but didn't. I had a job in digital marketing at a well-respected firm. I worked hard, dressed the part, and attended the networking mixers like clockwork. My life looked good on paper, but deep down, I felt like I was standing at the edge of something I couldn't name. Then two very different opportunities came into my life, almost at the exact same time. The first came through work. Jason Keller, a data analyst in our New York office, had been collaborating with me on a regional campaign. We'd never met in person, but over months of calls and video chats, we developed a natural rapport. He was sharp, thoughtful, and low-key funny, in a way that made me feel seen without needing to impress. When he flew out for a quarterly meeting, we finally met face to face. There was a quiet familiarity. Over coffee breaks and meeting prep, the connection deepened. He asked if I'd ever considered moving to New York. I hadn't. But when he mentioned an internal opening at the company's Manhattan branch, one that aligned with my skills, I found myself saying, maybe. That was path one. The second path arrived in the form of Noah Thompson, a longtime friend from my college years. He had just launched a startup media agency in Boulder and needed someone to lead creative strategy. He reached out one night and said, "I know you're corporate now, but I need someone with your brain. Come help me build this." I laughed at first. "Noah, you've got two people and a website. That's not a company. It's a dream." He grinned through the phone. "Exactly. And you used to believe in dreams too, remember?" That was path two. One offered structure, a clear path, and a reliable salary. The other offered risk, passion, and maybe something deeper I hadn't felt in years. And here's where the story turns. Not because of romance or some perfect movie moment, but because I stood in the middle of two wildly different directions and had to choose. For a week, I made lists, pro-con charts, asked everyone I trusted. But at night, it always came down to this. Do I follow the safe road with someone I like, or the uncertain one with something I love? The truth? I admired Jason, respected him, could picture a calm, comfortable life beside him. But with Noah, it wasn't about him, it was about me. Because when he talked about ideas and risk and vision, something in me woke up. Not butterflies. Fire. So I took the risk. I turned down the New York position and joined Noah's agency. It didn't feel romantic. It felt bold, terrifying, but real. I moved to Boulder, downsized my life, and started working from his makeshift office. Basically a garage with Wi-Fi and ambition. The first few months were rough. Unstable income, high stakes, doubt. But then, slowly, it started to click. Our first client, our first team hire, late nights planning content, building strategy, laughing at how exhausted we were. And somewhere in the chaos, something shifted. Noah looked at me one night over takeout and said, "I know this was a risk for you." "It still is," I replied. He nodded. "Worth it?" I thought for a moment. Yes. A year later, we landed a national campaign. 2 years later, we opened our own office. And today, that startup runs a team of 20. I lead strategy. Noah leads development. We still work side by side, still dream out loud. And yes, we eventually fell for each other. But not because of a perfect moment, because we built something real. together. Looking back, I realized the story was never about choosing between two guys. It was about choosing myself, choosing purpose over fear, creativity over comfort, and finding love not as a goal, but as a result of walking the path that made me come alive.